Hi, I'm Moira Shepherd, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. It is such a joy to be in your presence. I feel your light, I feel your love, and you are the people I am most excited to help in finding 5 simple ways to start your flow of abundance. So this is meant to be a mini retreat, and so let's start the retreat with a little breathing here so we can leave behind the haste, the hurry, the worry, whatever's been gnawing away at you, whatever has been top of mind for you right now that's causing you a little concern. Let's just breathe and let it go for a minute. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths and just see where we are from there. So breathing in once, just as deeply as is comfortable for you. And hold it for a second. Breathing back out again. Breathing in. Hold for a second and breathing back out again. And one last time, breathing in. Pause for a moment. Easy breathing back out again. Ooh, suddenly you all feel so much more present. It's like we're all in the room together. I feel your presence so strongly. That's the power of the breath. So the retreat has begun. So we're looking at today how love opens up your flow of abundance. And the way that happens is that you start knowing yourself as love again. It's so easy to get caught up in the roles that you play in your life. It's easy to get caught up in your projects. It's easy to get caught up in your mind that is ceaselessly churning out thoughts every second of every day. And all of these kind of mask the presence of love that lives at the core of your being. So this breathing has helped us to connect back in more easily to the love that lives within us, that is in fact the core of our being. When you know yourself as this love, it's so much easier to feel worthy of prosperity and success, which makes it easier to accept abundance and to keep it when it comes. You feel worthy of it, you feel ready for it, you know that you've already earned it 100 times over already. You're just accepting what's rightfully yours. When you know yourself as love, you enjoy success instead of feeling enslaved or burdened by it. Because when you know yourself as love, the most powerful force in the universe, you automatically become the master of success instead of success becoming the master of you. That releases a lot of unconscious resistance to success, because there may be an idea that I'll have to do more, I'm already too busy, I'm exhausted, I can't handle more success. And this just lets you realize you can have success on whatever terms you want. And that is the very essence of abundance, right? It's also easier to prosper from doing what you love. For people who love what you do, because you're in the flow of love. You know yourself as love. You know your clients, your readers, your viewers, the people you help as love already. So an easy, effortless exchange of one form of value for another feels like the most natural thing in the world. So today we're looking at 5 simple ways to start your flow of abundance, beginning from where you are with what you have. There's nothing you need to do to prepare. There's nothing fancy we're going to do here. These are simple, simple ways to start your flow of abundance. We're also going to look at one big mistake people make when they feel scared about the future. There's a lot of that going around. So I want to make sure we look at what you can do instead so you can get out of that mentality, that clutch of anxiety. We're also going to look at how you can love your way to abundance so you can create a prosperous and fulfilling life through joy instead of struggle. We're also going to look at the thank you gift you'll receive for joining me live today, because of all the ways you could spend your time, you're here. That makes me so happy. I want to do something to show you my gratitude. So just as a baseline sense of abundance, let's just take a moment to consider, how abundant do you feel right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I feel alone, 10 being I feel loved and cared about. How abundant do you feel right now? Just ask yourself the question, scale of 1 to 10, how abundant do I feel right now? And just whatever number floats up in your mind. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever you're feeling right now. And go ahead and put that in the chat. We'll come back to it later. Just a little about myself. I live in the City of Angels in lovely California. I'm a California native, and one of my biggest passions is classic movies. I love the dramas, the romances, the film noir, and the screwball comedies of the golden age of Hollywood of the 1930s and 40s. I wasn't alive in that time, but I sure appreciate them and the craftsmanship and artistry that went into those movies. I'm also the author of Love Your Way to Success, which my friend Shelley Campbell was kind enough to call a terrific guide to growing into your best self and claiming your power. The natural successor to Love Your Way to Success seemed to be Love Your Way to Abundance. So I'm here to share my secrets with you. It's taken me decades to find a way to love my way to abundance. And today I'm going to save you some time by showing you some ways that you can start loving your way to abundance too, right now. Enough about me. What about you? You are a coach who makes a difference in people's lives. You are a healer who makes a difference in people's lives. Perhaps you're also a speaker who makes a difference in people's lives. You may be a writer. In fact, I know you are writers who are making a difference in people's lives. Noticing a trend here? We are all here to make a difference in people's lives. That's one of the things that sets us apart from every other kind of entrepreneur. We are doing what we do because of love rather than money. If we feel like we have to choose between I can do what I love or I can make great money, we're going to choose doing what we love every time as much as possible until we can't keep the lights on anymore. There's this false dichotomy, thinking that it has to be one or the other. It comes from scarcity, thinking that if I have something that I love, that I adore doing, and I love the people I do it with, and I'm making tons of money doing it, there's a part of us that may feel like, oh, that's too much. I'm hogging all this abundance. What about the other people who aren't as happy as I am? Well, it's a fair question, and we will address that shortly. But in the meantime, knowing that you are someone like me who is driven far and away more by love than by money, there is that tendency to struggle sometimes financially, mentally, emotionally, and you're tired. Who wouldn't be with all the things that have been going on, all the things that have been that needed to be dealt with? Or maybe you're feeling stuck. You've got a lot of options in front of you and you've got just kind of like, oh my gosh, too much information. I can't decide what is the right thing to do. So if you're like most people, you do absolutely nothing. Been there, done that myself. Maybe you're feeling burned out, and that's natural. We're all putting out so much energy just doing the day-to-day things. Perhaps you've been burdened by the feeling of being an imposter, feeling like, who am I to share my message? What's so important about me or what I have to say? Other people have said it better. It's a very real thing, and that's something that I'm looking forward to the opportunity to support you in getting past by having a clearer idea of who you are, a clearer idea of your value, of what you bring to the table. There's nothing of the imposter about you, my dear. You are the genuine article. You are the real thing. It may be that you feel hemmed in by other people's needs or expectations, and that's legitimate. Many of us have others depending on us for one thing or another. And because we're such loving, giving people, we'll help other people take care of their stuff before we take care of our own. It's just, we're just nice that way. It could be that you're waiting for a sign, maybe a sign that you're ready, a sign that it's time, a sign that it's your turn. The good news is this gathering is the sign you've been waiting for. Let's make sure you're in the right place. If you have those moments where you feel like you're going to start screaming if you don't get a break soon, you have totally come to the right place. If you've been waiting to take the next step in building your business, developing your brand, getting your marketing ducks all put in a row until you're totally certain it's the right thing to do, you are in exactly the right place. If you're tired of waiting for your turn, to pursue your dreams, live your purpose, your turn to be happy and fulfilled. You've been so lovely. You've helped so many people, your friends, your loved ones, your clients, to pursue their dreams, live their purpose. And then part of you is tapping her toe and saying, well, when is it going to be my turn? A legitimate question. So we're focusing in even further on living from love, because love makes it way easier to turn your dreams into reality. First of all, because it's the most creative, powerful force in the universe. And also because when you do anything from love, it lifts up everybody around you. When you live from love, when you radiate love, radiate joy from doing what you love, everybody around you feels better. So you're never depriving anybody by pursuing your own dreams. You're automatically giving them permission to pursue their own. How empowering is that? How freeing is that for both people concerned? Living from love, making your choices based on love, also improves your health, because the frequency and vibration of love is healing in itself. So it balances your blood pressure. It lowers your anxiety and stress. It helps you to sleep better, because your immune system, your respiratory system, your stress response gets mellowed out, softened, and relaxed as you just soften into your being. Because love gives you the softest place to land that there is. Living from love helps you to create prosperity, because you realize that money is an expression of love, just like you. You are love, an expression of love. Money is an expression of love. There is nothing separating you. There is nothing wrong with the two of you getting together and doing great things together. Knowing that your love also lowers unconscious barriers to money, success, and love, and so much more. Because when you see yourself as separate from money, you're also seeing yourself as separate from love, separate from joy, maybe not at the conscious level, but at the unconscious level, but knows we are all one. It's impossible to separate yourself from any one thing without separating yourself from everything. So the more you open to joy, the more you open to abundance, the more you open to receive your good that is rightfully yours, money starts flowing also, because you're opening to receive all of your good without separating yourself from any of it, without differentiating between love and money. So in a moment, we're going to look at 5 simple ways to start your flow of abundance. We're going to look at different ways to relax into receiving the abundance that you desire and you deserve, and feel just fine about it. Here's a simple way to flow into abundance. Number 1, let go. Just let go. When you release unwanted tasks, objects, relationships, goals, you make more room for what you do want. You're creating a space of grace for abundance and love and things that you do want to flow to you. So let's take a moment right now to put this into practice. Think of a project that's been on your to-do list since forever. Something that you've been telling yourself, I really ought to get around to this one day. And somehow you get to the end of your day, you look at your list or your calendar, and you think, wow, that still didn't get done. Okay, let's move it to tomorrow. I know you do that because I do that too. We are all learning together here. So think of that project that's been on your to-do list since forever, and try the 3 Ds on for size. Do it, delegate it, or delete it. These are 3 possibilities. You can just go ahead and do it right away. And if it's a task that's unpleasant, something you're really not looking forward to, the simplest way to motivate yourself is to acknowledge to yourself, this is just an unpleasant task. Don't try to kid yourself or jolly yourself into thinking it's going to be more fun than it is. It's not. When you take time to be real with yourself and acknowledge, this is not going to be fun, and I can wait 5 days or 5 years and it will never get any more fun than it is right now. How good will it feel to get it done so it's behind you instead of hanging over you? What a relief that would be. You can also consider delegating it. Maybe you can hand this off to somebody else, which opens the door for you to consider a couple of possibilities. One of which is, maybe this is not really mine to do. Maybe this is rightfully someone else's task. If you feel like nobody else is going to want to do this either, that opens the door to the question, does it really need to be done? Maybe I can just delete it from my calendar, delete it from my to-do list, let myself off the hook from having to do this, and how relaxing and releasing that is. So just notice which option feels right to you as you consider this long put off task. Do I want to do it, to delete it, delegate it? Whatever feels right to you, I encourage you to do it as soon as possible. And notice how much lighter you feel when you get it done or let it go. Simple way number 2 to get into the flow of abundance is to get more rest. You're carrying some heavy burdens right now, energetically, mentally, emotionally, creatively. And they're taking more of a toll than you realize because you're sensitive, because you're empathetic. You're even more than usually tuned into the collective consciousness, which is going through some pretty heavy stuff right now. And so you are taking part in it at the unconscious level because you are a natural born healer. You try to ease other people's burdens by taking it on, often without being unaware of it. This has been your default setting for so long that you've been doing it without realizing it. Getting more rest will help you to handle that, will help you to handle what needs to be done. It also gives you more energy to create more of what you do want. The samurai used to say that rest is a weapon. And what they meant by that is that a rested army is going to have a big advantage over an army that is starving and dead on its feet because it's been marching for 3 days. Who do you think is going to be more victorious? The army that is rested. It's the same for you. Rest gives you the advantage of a clear mind, a rested and energized body, a more peaceful heart because you have allowed yourself to restore and refresh yourself. Since we know that it's hard to create abundance when you're exhausted, one simple way to get rest is to put it on your calendar, or you may even need to set an alarm on your phone. I think most phones have that capability now. It used to be if I wanted to get something done, it had to be on my calendar. And now it's gotten to the point because I get distracted like the rest of us. It needs to be on my calendar and there needs to be an alarm set. It can say, take 10 minutes break now, have a snack now, nap now. And the trick to making that work is deciding to honor these appointments with yourself instead of sliding snooze, snooze, give me another 10 minutes, give me another 10 minutes. I invite you to commit to giving yourself these breaks because you need them. You'll feel better. I think it's the Dalai Lama who said that if you don't have time to meditate for an hour, that's the day that you need to meditate for 2 hours. This is kind of the variation on that. If you don't have time to rest, you really need the rest. So I invite you to take that into consideration. Simple way number 3 of flowing into abundance is to honor your feelings. Feelings drive so much of what we do, drive so many of our decisions. Help us make choices every moment of every day. We base most of our decisions on how we feel and then justify them afterward with logic, whether it's a purchasing decision or whether to take a nap. Honoring your feelings is a vital practice because it keeps you in the flow of abundance because it's energy, just like abundance is energy. So often we take our emotions, if they're threatening to overwhelm us, and we just put them on the back burner so you can do what you need to do. And that's legitimate. Sometimes there are things that need to be taken care of, and then you can have the rest or the breakdown or the moment of meditation and bliss later after you do what needs to be done in the moment. The trouble is, as I first have noticed, I have time now to deal with my feelings, said no one ever. No one ever said, I have time to deal with my feelings now. Instead, once we set them aside, they tend to stay on the back burner. They start to congeal. They start to get stuck. They start draining your energy. And if you stuff your emotions enough, you're going to start feeling more dead than alive inside. And there is nothing abundant about that. We don't have time here to do any deep healings around that, but what we can do is a simple way to start turning that around. And that is to get back in the emotional flow of abundance by pausing to praise. This is a practice that I started years ago, and I cannot tell you the difference that it makes. It's very simple. When you complete a task, go to the mirror and say something like, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Say your name when you do it for even more impact on your emotional state in a positive way. You did a great job, Anne. Ginny, I am so proud of you. Julie, you really knocked that out of the park. Hug yourself, smile at yourself in the mirror. Your unconscious mind cannot tell the difference between praise that comes from you and praise that comes from someone else. It will take praise from wherever it is. And we need that to nourish ourselves, to feel validated, to know that somebody knows we completed this task. And positive praise is a great way to put a period on the task and say, done, complete, which is such an elusive feeling these days. And to just take that moment to honor yourself for having done it, because of all the things you could have been doing. You took this task to the finish line. That deserves praise and validation. If nobody's there to give it to you, you can do it for yourself, and it will still count. It will still honor your feelings. It will still nourish your soul. It will still make you feel seen, heard, listened to, understood. You will still feel like you matter and that what you did made a difference to somebody. How abundant is that? The fourth simple way to get into the flow of abundance is to be still and know. Be still and know that I am God is the origin of the phrase of this. And this is to connect with the God within you, the divine intelligence that lives within you, the Buddha mind, whatever name you give to it. In uncertain times, it's natural to want to know what's next. You want to be able to plan and prepare. It makes you feel more in control, and that's comforting. And goodness, don't we all need that these days? The thing is, if you're looking outside yourself for answers, if you're looking to the Wall Street Journal or to the big hot guru these days, or to the marketing expert or the coach who's 5 steps ahead of you and is going to show you her entire system for building up your business, you look outside yourself for answers can send you off in a dozen different directions. It is crazy making. It fragments your focus. It drains your energy. And again, you don't really know what to do, especially with information overload, so you do nothing. It is so much simpler and more effective to realize that part of you already knows how to create an abundant life for yourself, already knows how to create it under any circumstances. All you need to do is connect with that part. I know you are all very connected with your inner knowing and your deep intuition. So this may be just another way to approach it. Just play around with it, see if you like it. You connect with this inner wisdom by putting your hand over your heart center, and we can do that right now, and say, I don't know how. I don't know how I make time for myself. I don't know how I remember that I am love and only love. I don't know how I feel worthy of good things happening to me. I don't know how I feel like I know what I'm doing and that my message matters. And the final piece of that phrase is, I only know that it's true for me now, and I am fulfilled. So I don't know how I feel abundant. I only know that I do now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I feel worthy of success and sharing my message in ways that empower people. I only know that I do now, and I am fulfilled. So you can fill in this phrase with whatever is important to you, whatever you would like to live into. And this will help you get there, because by leading off with, I don't know how, you're unhooking your mind from the necessity to figure it out. And you open to the knowing that's ready for you, saying, I don't know how this is so. I only know that it is. And I am fulfilled. It's a simple demonstration of faith. And extraordinary things can happen when you connect with that. Simple way number 5, our last one, is to follow your joy, which is so much fun. As you can see, doing things that give you joy opens your heart and mind to abundance in a way that nothing else can match. That's because the vibration, frequency, and energy of joy and abundance are so closely aligned. You can try to think your way to abundance. You can try to, fight your way to abundance, struggle your way to abundance, figure your way to abundance, plot and plan your way to abundance, strategize to blow away the competition and find abundance that way. But it's so much simpler to follow your joy. Do what gives you joy. Do what brings you pleasure. That automatically places you within the vicinity, very close, in very close proximity to the frequency of abundance. They are so close together. So there's an effortlessness about doing what gives you joy, because it puts you in the present, which is the point of power, because you feel abundant in the moment instead of joy or abundance being some far off thing. It's in your experience right now. And this is a simple way to experience joy, because so much joy, real soul enriching, heart filling joy, comes from simple things that touch your heart, that make you catch your breath and just feel, I am happy in this moment. I feel complete and whole right now. I am surrendering to the joy that's radiating from me as I do this thing that gives me joy. Whatever that may be, whatever that may be. When you start making your choices based on joy, I think it would be fun to do a podcast. I always wanted to try doing a video. I'd like to learn more about that. I would really like to just do retreats. Whatever appeals to you, just start doing it now. That's actually what led to the creation of this series of retreats, is having a 5-year vision of myself leading retreats in gorgeous places, Sedona, Maui, Giza, Machu Picchu. I thought, well, maybe if I start doing retreats right now online without waiting until travel is feasible, 5 years from now, or maybe 3, or maybe 2, there will be in the real world versions of Love Your Way to Abundance retreats. But why wait? Why wait? I can follow my joy. You can follow your joy. We can follow our joy together and have a wonderful time doing it. So since we see that we can stop struggling or waiting for abundance, because when you connect with your joy, you're abundant in that moment, we're going to do some quick healings around soul fragments that you're carrying so you can easily touch joy in this moment. The thing I think soul fragments is that sometimes in our natural healer tendencies, we'll take on other people's grief, other people's sadness, other people's anxiety, other people's woe as a way to heal them. And it's really darling of you, and outside of weighing you down and doing actually very little to help the other person, outside of that, it's a great idea. But because perhaps it's the only way that you know to heal is to take on someone else's burdens, you're weighed down by stuff that is not yours. It was never yours to fix. And the people whose soul fragments you are holding on to, feeling like part of themselves is missing, because it is. So would it be all right to show you from your higher power's perspective the truth about your soul fragments that you're carrying, other people's soul fragments? And including in this, I'm also including the energetic DNA of other people that you're carrying, the energy signature of other people who you're carrying. And this is coming to you from the highest perspective and wisdom. I am not giving you this information. This is just you connecting directly to your own inner wisdom, your own consciousness. So let's show you what holding on to these soul fragments has really done for you and the other people involved in relation to what you thought it was doing. You thought it was helping and healing. In reality, it was doing something else, which was so not what you had in mind. Showing you why it's safe for you and safe for the other people involved for you to release those soul fragments now. So with your permission, is it all right if your higher power lifts away all the soul fragments, all the energetic DNA, everything and anything of other peoples that you are carrying, and let it all be brought up into the light of infinite love, where it is purified, sanctified, blessed, filled with unconditional love, and restored to its rightful owners now. Whew. Every time I do this, I feel so much lighter. I hope you do too. So let's do the companion piece on that. You and your big heart and generosity have probably given bits of your essential self to others out of a desire to heal them. Here, let me give you some of my love. Let me give you some of my energy. Let me give you some of my caring. Let me give you some of my respect. Let me give you some sense that you are not alone in the world. You are not alone in the universe. And again, this doesn't help the other people because it doesn't belong to them. It's not theirs. And you walk around feeling less than whole because part of you is someplace where it doesn't belong. Now, it's darling of you to have done this. It was absolutely, these things, these soul fragments were absolutely offered with the best of intentions. But since they're doing something very different from what you thought it would be doing, you thought it would be healing, it's actually doing something else. Would it be all right to show you why it's safe for you and why it's safe for others, for all of your soul fragments, all of your energetic DNA, all of the bits of you that you've left anywhere from, the office chair to the seat on the airplane, to the seat on the bus, to somebody's house, to some object, to some person, and just any part of you that's anywhere other than where it belongs. Let it be summoned up now to the frequency and light of unconditional love, where these are purified, sanctified, blessed, filled with unconditional love, and restored to you now, instantly assimilating and integrating, instantly slipping back into the exact place where they belong, restoring your sense of wholeness in a way you may never have experienced before. And ooh, I can feel you coming home to yourself, feeling more like yourself than you may have done in a very long time. Thank you for letting me do this with you. I feel your wholeness filling your body, your field of consciousness to overflowing with love and abundance, knowing that you are whole and perfect and complete in this moment, exactly as you are. You always have been, but somehow now you're experiencing it as real in your body in a way that may be new or familiar, like a long ago echo, as you come home to yourself in this profound way. Beautiful. So these are your 5 simple ways to start your flow of abundance. Letting go to make room for more of what you want, getting more rest so you have the advantage of clarity of mind, a peaceful heart, an energized body, honoring your feelings by honoring the love that you are, the love that you express in the world, being still and knowing that you are love itself, knowing that your inner wisdom has all the answers you seek right inside of you, and following your joy because it's so connected to abundance that as you open to more joy, you effortlessly and automatically open to abundance as well. How cool is that? So let's take a moment to look again at the baseline that we checked in with a little while ago. How abundant do you feel right now on the scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you feel loved and cared for. How abundant do you feel right now? And go ahead and put that into the chat. Notice if there's any difference between the number at the beginning of this retreat and what you're feeling now. Whatever number floats into your mind, no judgment. Very good. So while we're in this space of grace, this feeling of softness, the connection with joy, feeling restored, we can gently and easily take a look at the one big mistake people make when they feel anxious about the future, as so many do now. Probably not you, but other people watching this later, perhaps. Um, and what they do is they wait until things settle down, until things go back to normal, until the last child graduates, until the last child moves out, until you're in the mood. Waiting happens. And that's a great way to stay stuck in doubt and fear and uncertainty. But if you're not sure that you're making the right choice, it's natural to hesitate about moving forward, unless you learn how to love your way to abundance through connecting with joy. To love your way to abundance instead of efforting, pushing, forcing, proactive worrying. If I worry about it enough, maybe it will never happen, or it'll work out somehow without my having to do anything. Loving your way to abundance is an active choice of love. It's an active choice of joy. And it puts you back in your power. It helps you feel like I am in the driver's seat of my life. I can stop waiting for outside circumstances to change. I can start bringing more abundance, more joy, more love, more peace, more harmony, more financial abundance into my life right now. Waiting can be over. Imagine being able to relax into accepting the good things in life. Just relax into accepting them. Just allow them to be. They're knocking at the door, waiting for you. What if you could trust that you're going to be okay, and to know in your bones, I am loved and cared about. I am supported and looked after on so many levels. The universe is on my side. What if you could let an inspiring vision pull you forward into this future that you envision, this love, this abundance, this joy, this peace that you desire, instead of letting pain push you? That hurts. Ouch. Why do we need to do it that way? This is exactly what you can expect when you love your way to abundance in the way that's natural and normal to you, because you're not trying to alter your mindset. You're deepening into the love that you are, that you live from already, in a way that invites more good to come to you. It's a whole different kind of energy. It's a very feminine energy. Most models of success and achievement are very masculine. This is total feminine energy. Imagine how excited you feel when you effortlessly become more magnetic as a coach, a healer, a speaker, or writer. So people find you and your message irresistible. Tell me more. Keep talking, please, because you're radiating love. They want to get closer to you. That's what effortless magnetism and charisma are all about. Imagine how confident and empowered you feel when you feel worthy of charging what your services are worth, where it's just a no-brainer. I give them incalculable value. This is a bargain at the rate I'm charging. And feeling totally aware that there are people who will pay any amount of money to experience you and what you do in your own unique way. And how wonderful is it to have clients who love you and appreciate the difference you make in their lives? No more whiny, needy clients. Instead, you've got empowered clients. You've got excited, motivated clients. You've got people who adore you and will walk with you anywhere. How awesome is that? Imagine how yummy you feel if you feel just fine about taking a nap, reading a book, going for a swim, taking a retreat. How freeing is it to stop waiting for other people to give you permission to take a break? All the people in your life who need or want something from you, do you think they're ever going to put their hands on your shoulders, look into your eyes and say, honey, you need to take a break? No, they're going to put your hands on your shoulders and say, I need you to do this for me now. How great would it be if you could just say, you know, I have other plans, maybe another time, but right now I've got this thing to do. They never need to know that it's the nap you need to take. It's the book you've been meaning to read. It's the retreat you've been eager to go on. It's the hike you've been promising yourself for weeks. They don't need to know that. That definitely falls into does not need to know category. You can just feel fine about taking the time that you need to take a deep breath, find out who you are these days, get present to your feelings, because they are a source of immense power and energy. Imagine how exhilarated you feel when you give yourself permission to do what gives you joy and joyfully accept top dollar for it. When you do what gives you joy, especially on a professional level, it means that it's something that you're really good at. You've got the talent for it. You've got the genius for it. You are a specialist at what you do, because what you do and the way you do it is different from anybody else in the world. Specialists get paid much more than generalists. That is the way of things in business. And that's what we were talking about here. When you make a business of doing what you love, doing what gives you joy, and realizing I'm the only one who does this. I'm the only one who does this. My uniqueness gives what I do tremendous value. And I'm feeling like while we're here, would it be all right for your higher power to reveal to you how to recognize your personal uniqueness, how to recognize the enormous intrinsic value of who you are and what you do, and showing you why it's safe for you to recognize this now. If that's okay, please say yes or nod your head or wave your hand, something to indicate assent. If you don't want this, you can just say no thanks and it'll pass you by, no worries. Easily and effortlessly and joyfully recognizing your uniqueness, your unique gifts, your unique talents, the unique perspective that you bring to everything that you do, the extraordinary things that you've experienced in your life that have informed and shaped and influenced your point of view. These are all golden. You are golden. To support you in this, I've created this series of 5 retreats, virtual retreats online, around 5 practices to create prosperity through joy. And I'm so excited to be offering this. So let me give you an idea of what happens inside these virtual retreats. Each retreat of these 5 is going to include easy exercises to release stress. We're going to look at a simple prosperity practice that attracts abundance with very little effort on your part. We're going to have time to journal like we do in study hall, where you'll have a solid 10 or 15 minutes, and there will be writing prompts if you want them. One writing prompt will always be, what does my soul want me to know in this moment? But there will be other suggestions around the practice that we're looking at that day to help you look at, for your own satisfaction, how this can help you create more abundance, ways that you can put it into practice right away, what might get in the way of you doing this prosperity practice. And then we go right into group and one-on-one healing so that whatever is stopping you from doing these things gets healed right in the moment. We do that right in the retreat. We'll take time to share insights and stories. And at the end, we will share intentions so we can gain group support, so that we have group consciousness to lift us up and carry us further along than we could ever move on our own. So, of course, you might wonder, how long is this retreat going to last? Well, each retreat, with all of our activities, including the time to rest and reflect, will be about 60 to 75 minutes. But I encourage you to set aside 90 minutes for each gathering, to give yourself time to rest and reflect before going on to your next thing. You're going to come out of these retreats, somewhat like this one, in a somewhat altered state. You may be connected to a level of bliss that you've never experienced before, and you want to swim in it for a while. Giving yourself the extra time gives you a little buffer between the retreat and whatever you're going on to next. And whatever you go on to next might be a nap. It might be a walk. It might be something that you do to integrate a deep healing. You might want to go, cuddle with your cat, or your your llama, or whatever the case may be. So give yourself that gift of time to just relax and soften back into your life. So give yourself that period of transition between the retreat and the rest of your day. In retreat number 1, we're looking at forgiving yourself. It's become so clear to me that when we withhold forgiveness from ourselves or from others, it automatically withholds abundance from us, because we're all one. To withhold anything from anyone withholds it from us. We withhold it from ourselves also. So every grudge and resentment you're carrying toward yourself, every regret you're carrying towards something you did or something that was done, is a block to abundance. And a lot of people have told me, I can forgive other people, but forgiving myself, boy, that is another story. And I get that. And the reason for that first of all, it's very normal to have a hard time forgiving yourself more than anybody else. And the reason for that is because part of you thinks forgiveness is a terrible idea. Part of you is protecting you from the terrible consequences that it believes forgiveness will bring. There might be this imagining that, oh, if I forgive them, it means that what they did is okay and I have to let them do it again. No, if I forgive them, that means that I'm going to have to take them to lunch and pretend to like them. No, you can kill someone and still forgive them. You can kill someone in self-defense and still forgive them. There is nothing that says you have to do anything you do not want to do when it comes to forgiveness, because it's an internal process. Holding on to a grudge against yourself, resentment or regret towards something that you did, something that you chose at the time, is kind of like getting mad at a 3-year-old because she doesn't understand differential calculus. How could you not know that? If you were really smart, you would know that. Well, you may know differential calculus or deepest metaphysics or how to motivate volunteers now, but then you only knew what you knew then at that time. It's unfair to judge and condemn someone who did the best they could with what they knew at the time. Let justice prevail. And justice is realizing that you are innocent and always have been and always will be. You are innocence itself. There's a lot of puritanical ancestors in here, I'm feeling, who say, well, you can't forgive yourself because then you're going to go just misbehave all over the place. You're going to make a mess of your life and wreck other people's lives. Seriously, though, just think about it for a minute. If you're behaving in a certain way because you're shaming yourself into behaving that way, there is no love there in that behavior. You're doing it from fear of punishment rather than love of other people. So if you just reconnect with the love that you are, the natural empathy and compassion that you are hardwired with, and just treat people from that love that you are, you'll behave yourself just fine. Nothing to worry about. So this retreat is especially helpful if you feel at any moment unworthy of love or money or success. It means that somewhere in there, unforgiveness is lurking. If you feel like nothing you do is ever enough, unforgiveness is lurking somewhere in there, and this will help you to clear it out in the most loving, effortless way. If you feel guilty for no reason, like somehow, somewhere you did something bad and the axe is going to fall when you least expect it, there is definitely unforgiveness toward yourself or somebody else. One of the most tragic things I've seen in abuse is that people blame themselves for having been mistreated. And that is a burden I would love to help you lay down, because whatever happened to you, I want you to know it was never, ever your fault. Never your fault. Please know that now. In retreat number 2, taking care of yourself. This is all about refreshing your body, mind, heart, and soul so you can feel more loved, feel supported in your life, in your endeavors, in your relationships, so you can feel more abundant right away. Self-care is so often at the bottom of our to-do list, if it's there at all. But how well can you serve anybody if you're running on empty? This is a time to really take your 90 minutes of this retreat here and just relax in this kind of spa of grace, this oasis for your soul, and just allow love to work its magic on you, to restore, refresh, and renew you in ways that you may never have thought of. You will feel so relaxed and at peace at the end of this retreat. You'll love this retreat if you're running on empty, if you're trying to bounce back from burnout and you're having self-care is like, I know I need it, but God, I don't even know where to start. This is a place to start. If you feel lost in the busyness of your life, taking time to slow down and really allow yourself room to breathe, time to think, a space of grace in which to feel your feelings and just be with yourself. You will love this retreat. In retreat number 3, it's all about respecting yourself, recognizing your value so you can feel genuinely worthy of love, success, money, not because you're saying affirmations all the time, not because you're looking in the mirror and saying, you're wonderful, damn it. It's just realizing that however many mistakes you see piled up in your rearview mirror, they're like a molehill compared to the mountain of achievement that you have completely forgotten about. All the things that you've done, the stuff that you've survived, the events that would have wrecked a lesser person, and you're still here. Just the fact that you are still here tells me that you have overcome tremendous odds. You are a survivor, you are a champion, you are a winner. And to that I say, respect, respect to you. You deserve it, you have earned it. And this is what helps you to feel worthy of abundance on a whole other level. You realize that whatever abundance comes to you, whatever love, whatever joy, whatever wonderful opportunities, whatever financial success comes your way, you have earned it 100 times over. You can claim it and say, oh yeah, this is rightfully mine. I totally get that. You'll love this respect retreat if you often say yes to doing things that you don't want to do. That will help you to lay down what they call healthy boundaries in a way that's compassionate to you and to others. If it's been 5 years since you raised your rates, this will help you respect yourself enough to raise them. So it reflects the value of what you do now. Whatever you're doing now, you're much better at it now than you were 5 years ago. It's only fair and just for your rates to reflect your advancing professional, intuitive, creative gifts. It's only right. If money tends to slip through your fingers, there's a feeling of unworthiness in there somewhere, or maybe there was an experience in the past where money slipped through your fingers and you thought, this is what always happens, money just slips through my fingers. Well, that's an observed experience and that's valid enough. But if you also make it a decision, oh yeah, money always slips through my fingers, you might want to change that. Just saying. In retreat number 4, it's all about trusting yourself, deepening your connection to your inner wisdom. So you trust yourself to make choices that are based on love rather than fear. Any choice you make on love will always have a better outcome than a choice you made based on fear. It's just that simple because you embed the energy from which you're making the choice in the choice itself, in the action itself, in the time in which you carry out the action. So you might as well project your actions in the future, think about them, feel into them, choose them based on your inner wisdom, based on trusting yourself to know what is the right next step for you, whatever that may be. You will love this retreat if you feel confused by too many people telling you what to do. Some of them you asked for their opinion. Some of them have offered it without your saying, hey, what do you think about this? Too many voices, too much information, very overwhelming. The only way to really sort it through in a way that's going to work for you is to consult your own inner wisdom and say, does this feel right to me? Does this feel right to me? Does this give me joy? Does this make me want to go and hide? And that's a great basis on which to make a decision. If you have no idea what you want, and I see a lot of that, people who've trained themselves not to want anything because they just didn't want to go into this place of desire, wanting, dreaming, goal setting, knowing in advance that they're going to be disappointed, that they will be refused or rejected. And so you just stop wanting things and you get into space. I don't know what I want, just, anything for a peaceful life. But part of you knows, your soul knows what you want. Your soul knows what you most enjoy doing. Your soul knows your right livelihood and so much more. Connecting with your inner wisdom helps you to locate all of the answers within yourself. If you tend to worry that whatever choice you make, it will be wrong, trusting your inner wisdom, choosing to trust and coming to the realization that maybe that thing that looked like such a bad choice, more good than harm came out of that, but maybe you lost sight of that and you just got in the habit of thinking that whatever choice you make will be wrong. That would be a good habit to start letting go of and be replaced by trusting yourself. In retreat number 5, we looked at how when you choose joy, when you do what you love, what gives you pleasure, your creative inspiration flows freely. When you express it and share it, good comes back to you in so many forms: praise, love, money, recognition. Tell me more about that. I want to spend more time with you. Ideal clients line up at your door. Golden opportunities come to you from unexpected sources. Chances to do stuff you would never have imagined for yourself. But when you're in the flow of joy, other things that will give you joy, even if you never thought of doing them before, can come to you. And you can trust your inner wisdom to say, oh, that sounds bad. I never thought about it. I could totally do that. I've got all the training. I've got all the knowledge. I just never thought of directing it in that particular place. How awesome is that to discover that your gifts apply in so many areas that give you joy? What a great discovery to make about yourself. You'll love this retreat if you feel trapped in your life. There's very little joyful about that. People feel trapped in their life often when they have obligations to others and they feel like they can't make a move without consulting 2, 3, 5, 10 other people. When you choose joy, that's a private experience that you can do in the privacy of your own heart. And you start feeling less trapped because you can find joy in the moment, even if other people expect things from you. You can still find ways to give yourself joy in the simplest, most unobtrusive, soft and simple ways. You will love this retreat if you tend to numb yourself out by eating pints of Chunky Monkey while binge watching Friends. I totally get that sometimes all you want is just mindless entertainment. Don't make me think about anything. I just want to relax and taste something yummy and look at something that's moderately entertaining. But how much more joy and restoration and renewal would you feel if you engaged in mindful entertainment? If you said, I am getting this pint of Chunky Monkey out of the freezer. I'm going to eat it with this tiny spoon so I can savor every little bite. And I'm going to allow myself to sink into the comfort of comfort television. So when you do it with conscious volition, as opposed to mindless escape from burdens you want to lay down for a while, it gives you so much more joy. And if you've forgotten what joy feels like, this will help you to reconnect with it in ways that feel authentic and real to you. So these are our 5 retreat themes. We forgive yourself, take care of yourself, respect yourself, trust yourself, and choose joy. So let me ask you, if just one of these retreats help you open your arms to the floods of abundance waiting for you, what would that be worth to you? To have a whole new experience of yourself, of life, of the abundance that you always wished for, that you hoped would come to you one day, and just start inviting it in right now without any more waiting, with minimal effort and maximum joy. These are some of the things people say about my classes. I got hired for more than what I asked for. This student was so wonderful. She acknowledged that this didn't happen while she was in the class. It was after the class, but she was still feeling its effects. She was still hearing my voice. She was still connected with the inner voice of abundance itself that whispered to her, be open to abundance. You deserve this. So the effects of this can be very far reaching in your life in months, years to come. I love getting emails like this. I love getting unexpected checks in the mail because abundance money can come to us from wherever it is. If you've got the idea that it can only come to you from a job or from a client or from one particular aspect of marketing, you're closing off all of the possible avenues of abundance. This helps you open up for abundance to come to you from wherever it is, because it is everywhere. But you need to know that for it to come flowing to you. As a bonus gift, you'll receive this training, Stop Doubting, Start Doing, 3 15-minute interactive videos that help you get used to connecting with your inner wisdom, get used to trusting it, and getting used to taking action in ways that feel fun and joyful and easy for you. And that's a gift simply for taking on this class. As a reward for quick action, I'm also offering people the first 10 to sign up will get this in-depth guidebook. And I've done everything I can to make it beautiful and user-friendly and as easy as possible to really hone in on your money blocks. These retreats are about the larger picture of abundance. This zeroes in on financial issues that you're carrying within yourself. So it's a great resource to have available. My gift to you is a reward for taking quick action. It's helped me a lot. I'm sure it can help you too. So the retreat dates that we're looking at We meet in our Space of Grace on Zoom on Tuesdays at 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Time on October 12th, October 19th. Then we take a break because the forgiveness and self-care pieces they're very large. You need time to integrate them. So I'm allowing you that time to give yourself a space of grace, to also put them into practice, because they're two of the most significant ways to open your flow of abundance. And then we come back in November on the 2nd, the 9th, and the 16th. So we're done by Thanksgiving. How awesome is that? A whole week before. So you've got plenty of time to prepare for the holidays. And how cool would it be to go into the holidays feeling refreshed, renewed, reconnected with yourself on levels that you may have lost sight of a long time ago. And here you are, to be present with yourself, to fall in love again with what you do. So what you get in this series of 5 retreats is a discount. The price is going to go up next time. In this case, I'm taking $500 off the rate to thank you for taking a chance. I've done other classes like this before and seen great results, but because you're taking a chance, I want to reward you for that. You get 5 hours plus of insight, instant healings, practical tips. The healings that we did today are just a tiny taste of what can be brought forward for you, for your personal healing in these retreats. You get 24/7 access to class replays, lifelong. So you can build up your abundance mindset again. If you ever feel it slipping, you can say, oh, I need to get back into this space of self-care now before I burn to a crisp energetically. And so you'll have this access for the rest of your life. These are 5 weeks of love and bliss and peace and joy that you can enjoy again and again. You get the bonus training, Stop Doubting, Start Doing, just a quick thing, again, that you can use for the rest of your life to get yourself clear on why you want to get a goal accomplished, what ways we give you pleasure to bring it about, and letting go of self-doubt enough to be able to get started with confidence and joy. You also get personal email support from me for the duration of these retreats. And there'll be fun surprises along the way. I'm still plotting those and having a really good time doing that. So the total value of this is nearly $2,600. You would pay only $497 or 2 easy payments of $267. Again, this is what people say about my classes. Here are the results that I've seen. Highest ever balance in the savings account. The office has opened up at the corner with an ocean view, and it's mine now. My lover has been more appreciative because this person helped to learn how to appreciate herself more, and her lover reflected that back to her. So they were living blissfully, last I heard. And another very happy student. I've had great results showing up in my life since I started the class. Gratitude, love, abundance, having a great time with that. Again, you get the reward for quick action because I love you and want to support you in as many aspects of abundance as I can. This is the gratitude gift you get for joining me today. I know some of you have been here more than once, and I'll be glad to send it to you again if you want. And if you see, oh, there's that thing again, you can go ahead and delete it. It's okay. I know you've got it, but it's basically 50 ideas to bring more success and happiness, abundance into your life. Some of the ideas will be familiar. Some you might have forgotten about and might want to try again. Some of them may be new. Give them a try. Let me know what you think. You have it with my blessing. If you had a big aha, I'd love it if you shared it in the chat. I'd love to see what realization you might have come to. And it would be lovely if you'd share your wisdom with us by sharing it, sharing it in the chat. So this is sort of a sampler of the retreats that I've put together to support you in feeling loved and loving and lovable, to reconnect with the joy that gives you easy access to the frequency of abundance because they're right next door to each other. And this is a time of turning inward. Ginny, I loved the video that you did the other day about autumn is the time of turning inside, checking in with your inner wisdom, find out what goes on with you now, what's important to you now. Who are you today? We've all changed since the events of the last couple of years. In some ways, we've become unrecognizable to ourselves. In some ways, we just realize that we we must have changed because I never used to do things this way. Or, gosh, my priorities have shifted. I'm really more focused on relationships now. And taking time to dive into your inner wisdom to get to know who you are today, such a valuable thing. We've all got so much to do. I wanted to make these retreats as easy and effortless, brainless, as work-free as possible, because we all have too much to do, which is why we need a break. And I'm offering this to you because, you know, we're all reflective people. We're all intelligence. We all tend to have introspection at times, but if you're like me, you can do the introspection thing for about 5 minutes, and then it's like, oh man, I need to do something about dinner, or I haven't checked my email yet today, and boom, all your reflection just falls by the wayside. It's so much easier to take time for yourself if it's at a set time and day, and you're meeting with other people who are up to exactly the same thing, lovely, like-minded people, and this can lay the foundation for a community of dear souls. And you are so dear to me. You can find out more about the program at loveyourwaytoabundance.com. That's the website you would go to, loveyourwaytoabundance.com. And I invite you to go ahead and take a look at that, see if it feels right to you. And whatever you choose, please know that I love you just the same. I want what's best for you, and for you to choose what you think is best for yourself. I support you in doing what feels right to you. I'd love to have you join me on this journey, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Well, we've gone a little over. Thank you for taking the time to be with me today. Thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I just want you to know, I see what a blessing you are. I see what a light, what a gift you are. So thank you for gifting me with your presence today. I love you very much. Thank you so much for being here. Anybody have any questions, comments, anything they'd like to share? I'm glad to stick around and chat. Yeah, sometimes the word maker just conks out. We're all so much in bliss. Let me just look over some of these comments in the chat. 8.5 for how abundant you feel at the beginning. Wow, that is wonderful. Linda Liliquist says, practicing the part now that you can regarding your future dream. Love doing that. That is so fun. Wow, Julie at 9.5. Loving that. Ginny at 9, Anne at 8.5. PJ saying, sorry, gotta go. So glad that she was able to join us for the time that she could. Ginny saying, thank you, Moira. Masterful delivery and wonderful content as always. Wow, Ginny, thank you. Such a great presenter yourself. That means so much to me. I really appreciate your saying that. Anne says, Moira, you are so awesome, and I so respect your gifts. As I listened to it for the second time, I really realized how much I have grown and appreciate myself. Anne, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Would you like to tell us a little about that? How you've come to appreciate yourself more?
Well, I can, and it would take hours, and so I won't take hours, but I will say I have beaten myself up more in my relatively long life than most people, I think. And when you get to the point where you can look at what, in hindsight, that what you did and who you've become as a result of what you have done, and the growth that you have taken, it's quite remarkable. And you just bring that out in me, because most of the time I can beat myself up pretty well. So I really appreciate it today. I worked through something today that really, I don't know if it's gone, but it's a whole lot less than it was. So thank you.
That is wonderful. I see it just resolving and dissolving at the perfect time in the perfect way. So what you set in motion will definitely go to completion and the timing that's just right for you. Thank you so much. Any other thoughts, any other suggestions, any other ideas, any other sharing? We're all in a theta brainwave right now. It can be hard to talk in that. So thank you, Anne. You have tremendous strength of mind for being able to be in that. I know I'd beat up a lot on myself when I was younger also, and I still do that sometimes. Shoot, I did that this afternoon. I started feeling kind of frustrated because I wanted to get so many more emails out promoting this series of retreats, and none of them have gone out yet. So I was feeling frustrated and inadequate, and oh my gosh, there is still so much to do, and I just don't have the bandwidth to do it all. And then I just took a moment and thought to myself, I just did a great piece of writing in that study with that program with Donna this morning. I have put together a tremendous amount of material. I woke up at 4 a.m. and did this tremendous cascade of healings that came through that led to energetically inviting exactly the right people to show up for this. I've accomplished so much. So let go of the niggling little ego mind that says, but you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. And Donna says you need to be promoting for so many days before you actually get the class started. I'm like, I'm just choosing to believe I'm right on time and that everything is unfolding under grace in the perfect way. And that's a choice that each of us can make in every moment. So yeah, part of my process was realizing, look at all that I've already done. Let's focus on that instead of what is yet to be done. And just appreciating how much has happened, how thoroughly this retreat is working on me before it even starts, how much I'm learning from being with all of you, how we all lift each other up with our collective consciousness in this group. And there's so much more to be thankful for. And going into that joy, and that's the energy that just led me in this, is just thank you that I get to do this. Thank you that I get to spend time with these great souls. How fabulous is that? Love being able to do that. And I'd love to do more of it. And there'll be other ways and other opportunities. This is not the only thing I'll ever offer, the only way I'll ever do it. I did want to say that if you look at the day and think 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, really? Well, here's the thing. What I've learned is that the best time to present is when it's the best time for me to present. That's when I'm freshest. That's when it's early enough in the week. And the great thing about these retreats is that they're all recorded. So you can save them for the weekend or for later that night or whatever time frame works for you, because your unconscious mind, again, doesn't know the difference between what's on the screen and what is right in front of you. It doesn't know the difference between virtual reality and material reality. That's why we get so caught up in soap operas or series, because the people become real to us and their problems become important to us. They matter to us. We want to see them resolved. We want a happy ending or justice or whatever it is we're watching for. So it will be just like being in the real live retreat, because once you're in this, your consciousness is always part of the group. This is true for people who sign up for this 10, 20 years from now. They are part of this group too. Everybody who ever watches this is present in spirit. And so you get the full, rich experience of everyone being in this retreat, in this wonderful group consciousness. Whether you attend live or later, it still works, it still has power, it still lifts you up. It still helps you love your way to abundance, following your natural inclination to love and give and be in joy and generosity. You're just extending it to yourself as well as others. How cool is that? So any other thoughts? I see Rex. No? Anyway, I want to thank you so much for being here, for staying with me. It's an honor and a joy to be with you. Thank you so much for all that you are and all that you do. You take care until we meet again. I love you so much.